All right, this might be a series of videos, but it's by special request. I've been working on my Agilent E4425B. It's a 4 gigahertz oscillator generator, and it's a real fancy machine. It has 12-digit accuracy. You can set the frequency with 12 digits of accuracy up to 4 gigahertz, right? So that's pretty special. And a viewer has been helping me out finding some documents and things that I needed for this particular instrument. I guess he has one too. And so he was sharing me information that he had, and that's been very helpful. He requested that I do a video on some of the internal workings, which I think would be valuable for you guys, having a lot to do with phase lock loops and other things. Anyway, yeah, let's get into it. All right, here's the block diagram for the machine. I've shown this before. Working from the back forwards, there's an attenuator that's a 120 dB step attenuator, you know, rack-of-the-mill thing. There's a pulse modulation, so it's basically a switch. You can whack, whack, whack and do pulse modulation. There's a modulation board. You can do AM modulation, FM, all kinds of stuff, and data and stuff, depending on which options your machine has. The question that the viewer had was if I could go over the fractional N divider and the sampler, which are the real heart of a machine like this. So there is a YIG oscillator. So the YIG oscillator gives you the high frequency, but you need to have this phase lock loop wrapped around it to make your accuracy, like it's 12 bits, right? Or 12 digits, right? That's a lot of bits. How do you make a YIG oscillator, which is just a linear device? It's just you turn a voltage and it sweeps back and forth in frequency. How do you set that so accurately? Well, there's this big fancy feedback path, and it's a phase lock loop. And in order to measure the phase, you have a sampler, and in order to generate the phase, you have a fractional N divider. So that's what these videos will be about. So there's a couple of things you need to know before we dive in too deep, and that is, let's talk about the YIG oscillator. The YIG oscillator is variable between 4 gigahertz and 8 gigahertz. And you say, wait a minute, this is a 0 to 4 gigahertz machine. How come the YIG goes from 4 to 8? That doesn't make any sense. Well, the next stage is a divide by 2, a divide by 2, a divide by 2, and a divide by 2. So in the simplest form, this 4 to 8 gigahertz signal is immediately divided by 2, all right? And that makes it 2 to 4, right? And so you can divide it by 2 again. That gives you 1 to 2, or half to 1, or below that. And so this is the transmission, right? This is the shifter. So it does generate 4 to 8, but then you can just shift down to anywhere else you want to be. So let's ignore that. That's really easy. That's just a divider, okay? So what we have to think about is how do you make a 4 to 8 gigahertz generator good to 12 digits, okay? So everything we talk about is going to be generating 4 to 8 gigahertz and in between. Now, this is the drive section for the YIG oscillator. This is the YIG. YIGs are yttrium iron garnet, and they are a magnetic sphere that can wiggle, and you put it in a magnetic field, and the magnetic field can control the wiggling, and you can make it wiggle a little farther and back and forth. So it's a big coil that's the tune coil. So the big magnetic field shifts it from 4 gigahertz to 8 gigahertz, okay? That's the big magnetic field. And then there's a tiny magnetic field that can make it jiggle just a little bit, which is the FM coil. So there's a main coil and an FM coil. The FEM coil is used for FM modulation. So that's part of our system as well. And so what you need to have is a voltage on the input that's equal to the frequency on the output, okay? So there's some range of voltages that tune it from 4 gigahertz to 8 gigahertz, okay? So we need to generate an accurate voltage to give us the frequency that we want out here, okay? And the way that we're going to get that accurate voltage is that we're going to take some of the output and we're going to run it down into a thing called a sampler, because it's going to sample it. And it's going to sample that 4 to 8 gigahertz, and it's going to compare it to something that we digitize, and we make an accurate thing, and we compare it to the output. And we want these things to match, and then the error voltage, whether it's too high or too low, if it's too fast or too slow, we're going to feed that back into the YIG driver. So the function of the sampler is to look at the output, measure it, and then give feedback to give you the correct voltage, okay? So this block is easy to understand. It's just going to be some drive electronics and stuff. So really what we want to be focusing on is the sampler, which measures what we have and compares it to what we generate, and then the thing that we generate. So we're going to generate an accurate frequency with this thing called a fraction n divider, okay? And we're going to use that as our gospel, and we're going to feed it into the sampler. The sampler's job is to look at the output, compare it to the input, and if the output is going too fast, we slow it down. If it's going too slow, we speed it up, okay? So, so that's what the videos will be about. Now, in order for us to even go the very first step, okay, we're going to have to understand phase lock loops. And I did a video once on phase lock loops, but for the sake of this, I want to do a new video on phase lock loops that's going to be phase lock loops for dummies, okay? It's going to be the basics of a phase lock loop generating a particular frequency, okay? Phase lock loops can be used for different things, but in this particular case, what we want to do is we want to use that phase lock loop to generate a particular voltage that we control, okay? So let's go talk about phase lock loops.